Hello Pisces, welcome to my channel. This is going to be your October 2023 reading for Sun, Moon and Rising. We will start off with the sound bowl just to tune into the energy. You can join me if you like. I'm going to do one ping with the breath in and the breath out. Okay? So, deep breath in. And exhale. Okay Pisces, let us see what October is bringing you. We're going to start off with Wisdom of the Oracle. I'm back in the UK again, so I have access to my old decks, which I'm really excited about. Okay. What does Pisces need to know, please? Oh, too many cards. Just one card, please. What does Pisces need to know, please, for October 2023? To be fair. Ooh. Balance. Justice. Just bring it forward. There is a bit of a reflection, but unfortunately I need to have that so you can see my face. To be fair, to be fair, to be fair. To be fair and balanced no matter the outcome. Okay, let us do a cross of truth. So I'm using the Fountain deck for cross of truth. It's just going to tell me where you're at, what you want, what's working in your favor, what the challenge is, and the outcome. And we will clarify. I'm suddenly feeling very authoritative at the moment. Kind of like blind truth, blind justice. Not being emotionally swayed, but looking at the facts. Okay, we're going to cut the deck. Okay, where you at? We have the world, the desire, the lovers. What's working in your favor? Three of Wands, the challenge, Ace of Cups, and the outcome, Five of Swords. Okay. You've learned a lot of this past cycle, okay? So you feel like, you know what, I'm not going back, I'm not repeating history, I'm not going over that chapter again, I'm closing the book. You may be just arriving at that ending part, okay? Now the World card is a beautiful card, it's extremely positive because it's, in a sense, it's a graduation. And in graduating, you have the opportunity to reflect on the lessons learnt and to celebrate the ending of an era into the next, okay? The lovers is in coming up in the desire. So you are wanting to now, having learnt everything that you learned, you want to now choose passion. That's it. You want to live life. You want to kind of enjoy the ride as you go along, right? And but the reason I'm feeling quite authoritative is that like you are not, it's like, because you've learned everything you've learned, you're not going to repeat history. You certainly are not going to repeat history. So therefore, certain boundaries need to come into this next chapter of your life. All right. You are weaving something into existence. You are creating something in existence with the Three of Wands. Okay. You've been working really, really hard at the building blocks of where you want to move forward. But there may come a challenge with this Ace of Cups coming in. So it feels like you're ready to go on this direction and something else is trying to distract you here. It's like this pretty little glitzy thing that is quite exciting. If you were to allow yourself to do it, you might be a little bit worried that you might be repeating history. That's why it's coming up as a challenge. But it is a beautiful card. So we will clarify that as well. The outcome is the Five of Swords. So the Five of Swords talks about a little bit of obstacle, a little bit of a challenge as it relates to the mental body with how you move forward. And with that authoritative, to be fair energy, Five of Swords can talk about can talk about winning at all costs, but it can also talk about, you know, having to, it's like a short-term win, but is it going to serve the long term? You're not quite sure. But in a sense, it's also turning up, putting down boundaries and walking a bit of a tightrope, even if it's going to ruffle someone up. Now, I'm not so worried about that card, because what it's saying to me is that having learned everything you've learned with that World card over here, why should you people please? Okay, people pleasing, we can there's so many people, everyone people pleases, right? They think that they know what other people are thinking. We can never know the full extent of another person's personality, higher self, deeper wisdom, experiences of everything they've learned in their lives. So why do we continue to project our ideas onto them and think that we'll kind of keep the peace, you know, keep them happy, keep them happy, keep them happy. You can never, firstly, keep one person else happy, because that's the only person's responsibility of happiness is their own. It's not your job, it's their job, right? Equally so, say for example, you knew the tools or the tricks or the habits that would keep someone happy. You can't do it to everyone. You'll be completely, you'd be totally neglecting your own sovereignty and your own truth and your own authenticity, okay? So it just can't be done. So the outcome, I see this kind of, that's something to do with how the world is played up for you, in terms of the lessons that you've learned. And I'm sorry, she is bare-breasted, but you know, we've all got tits, male and female, so I don't see what the big deal is. 5 of Swords, so I feel very like meh in this energy with this To Be Fair card. So I do believe that by the end of the month, it may still feel a little bit uncomfortable for you to kind of step back and say, okay, I'm not going to please somebody else. That's not going to be my automatic autopilot response. I'm going to check in with myself first. Do I want to do this? Why am I saying this thing? Why am I offering to do this thing? Check in with yourself first. Have that awareness. Check it, like catch yourself doing it, and quickly check in with yourself. Is this for me or is this for them? And I'm not saying this in terms of a self-serving, selfish nature or an egoic thing. I'm talking about start to recognize the reasons before you preempt. So just slow down the speech a bit, okay? Because it feels to me like it's kind of a situation where you'll be damned if you do and damned if you don't, if you people please everyone. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, right? So you might as well, it's a gamble, so you might as well check in with your own heart first. So we're going to clarify. I feel very like what ifs energy. And sometimes we need to kind of, it's weird. Sometimes we need to go, if we've been operating on a this one's giving, this one's taking field for so long, right? Like a people pleasing and the receptor. And then we want to kind of have more of a balance, to be fair, more of a balance, but it's quite a difficult reach, okay? Sometimes we have to go all the way the opposite direction before we can sort of settle into a plateau. I hope that makes sense. I see it in my mind, but I hope it makes sense to you. Okay, let's clarify. I'm going to cut the deck in the same way as before. Whoa, we've got all these cards jumping up. I want taking jumpers. We'll cut the deck, Spirit, in the same order, please. Okay, shuffle. Okay, under the World card we have the Ace of Pentacles, under the Lovers card we got the Hermit, under the Three of Wands we got the Nine of Pentacles, under the Ace of Cups we got the Fool, and under the Five of Swords we've got the Knight of Pentacles. Pisces. The world marks a new beginning, so it makes a lot of sense to me. You've ended one chapter and you have something new on the horizon that you're stepping into. A new paradigm, a new job, a new position, a new home. This is brand new after the ending of one particular chapter. very prosperous. I feel like you're feeling very confident and very, self-assured where you are at the moment. It's exciting. The desire here is the Lover's card. Remember what I was talking about with choosing passion. And it's clarified by the Hermit, which again makes perfect sense because you're doing that soul searching. You're trying to identify within yourself, moving forward into this next paradigm, into this next timeline that I'm jumping into. Where is my truth at? So firstly, you're questioning, you're basically wanting more passion. So you want to live in passion, right? You want to be excited about life, joyful about life. So you're choosing passion, but then you're having to do also some soul searching of like, what does passion represent to me? What is it? How does it play out? How does it make me feel? How can I embrace that feeling in multiple avenues of my life, not just within romance? All right, what is passion? And you are taking your time to identify what that is within you as a result of all this learning with this previous chapter. So lovely energy. Working your power is the Three of Wands, clarified by the Nine of Pentacles. So you are absolutely weaving something into existence, and what you're doing is enabling yourself to become a lot more self-sufficient, more independent, more kind of standing in your own vision, in your own right, and you're sort of standing pretty. You keep enough for yourself, and whatever's left over, spill over, you can give and share with others. But I feel like this is a lot more of a balance, to be fair. So it feels like though it is a bit of a struggle for you. So you're still working on that. You're working on your sense of independence. You're working on your financial sense of self-sufficiency. You're working on your vision for the future, because obviously we've got the Three of Wands card here of this gentleman who is weaving the ropes. Okay, you're building strength. Now when we take 3 ropes and we weave it together, we've got one stronger root. So perhaps you are also bringing in 3 different avenues of work, and you're blending them into an alchemy, into something that's going to be stronger. So this could be 3 businesses coming together, 3 business ideas that you're blending in together that someone else has not done before, right? It is a type of alchemy. Or if with regards to your finances, because we do have Pentacles coming up here, you are maybe kind of investing in 3 different areas, and you'll see it play out later. For some reason, normally I don't use the numbers as, I obviously refer to numerology a lot of the time, but I don't often use the numbers as a 3 thing, but I'm definitely feeling a 3 thing here. So there's 3 areas that you're bringing together that's going to be very, very strong for you. It could be 3 different heads, 3 different perspectives to help work-wise, to help your sense of freedom financially, home, or work. That's what I'm getting with this. You see, what I'm seeing over here is there's love that wants to come in, but you're like, no, I'm busy on this. So the challenge here is the Ace of Cups with the Fool card. Okay, so there is something coming towards you. It is offering that new leap of faith. Now, it doesn't always have to be in romance, but for some of you who are single and looking for love, this may come in and it could feel more like a challenge than it does like a blessing. But of course, when we finish the world of the Major Arcana, you start over at the Fool. Okay, so we do have new blessings, new beginnings that will want to come in, but I feel like you're not quite ready because you're just still closing something off. You're allowing yourself the time just for things to settle before you go excuse me, forward. I do believe this Ace of Cups is going to bring you a lot of internal peace though. Okay, and if you're sussing out what passion means to you, this is passionate. But it's still like you feel like you don't feel ready, but I think you are. Okay, so as it relates to work endeavors, there could be an offer that's coming on in that would enable you to maybe travel or do something completely different work-wise, but you're like, I'm not going to allow myself to be tempted by that idea. It's a challenge, because you might sit with it for a bit and you're like, no. Sit with it and then no. I still think it's quite positive. The outcome of the month is the Five of Swords clarified by the Knight of Pentacles. So walking that tightrope and being very diligent about your people-pleasing aspects and your Boundaries is a methodical affair, okay? It takes time. You're just plodding along. And yes, it may feel like you could be ruffling some feathers, but I feel like, well, if you're diligent in your approach, this is a way to do it. So it's almost like, it's kind of got the energy of, and please don't shoot the messenger when I say this, but it kind of feels like you may be so used to doing something in a complicated way, because times it's hard to do things sometimes, that when an easy approach is offered to you, you're like, no, I know how to do it the hard way. Let me do the hard way, because I know that if it's hard and it's difficult and it's challenging, that it will be more successful. So there is something about something that being offered to you that could be really boost you, but there may be the tendency to want to do it in the way that you are familiar with. Okay, so that's obviously not going to resonate for everyone, but it could be just something to think about. If something appears easy, our conditioned belief systems often tend to think, well, if it's easy, then it's not real, or it's too good to be true, then it can't be true, right? We're entering a bit of a shift at the moment. I mean, you should know this, Pisces. I mean, we're coming out of the Piscean age and we're moving into the Aquarius age, if I'm not mistaken, and we're moving more into community, which is your Three of Wands, moving more into kind of harmony and collaboration, and things. We are also going through the great shift, the reset. Consciousness is people are waking up to consciousness a lot more, and so it might be worth starting to at least play with the idea that certain endeavors in our lives can sometimes actually just fall into our lap and be easy. It doesn't always have to be hard. It doesn't always have to be, and so I really hope that helps you, or someone who's listening. But there's a fairness. To be fair, I'm picking up like the fairness of the universe. Okay, what you put in, you get out, and it doesn't always have to be difficult. Okay, so just something to think about. You don't always have to be kind of plodding away, because we are now in an age of nothing is predictable. Even though we do tarot, we're working with energies. All of these are kind of movable energies. Okay, even the people in the think tanks that are forecasting future events, they have to go in a very broad spectrum, because now is the time to expect the unexpected. So we could also play with that in our lives, in our personal lives. How do we try and stay present and that will enable us not to kind of project too much in the future. So there is something about trying things in a slightly different measure. It doesn't always have to be hard. Okay. So I'm going to get a Moonology card to close off this reading for you, Pisces. What does Pisces need to know, please, for October for their highest good? Bear with me a moment. That flew off. We got 3 cards for you. Ooh, you're going to like this. Prosperity lies ahead. New moon in Taurus. So we did have quite a few pentacles that turned up for you. So this is good. You really are working on your pentacles, because we've got pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles, and Knight of Pentacles, okay? More so than any of the other elements. So the focus is on your sense of security, your finances, your physical, tangible home, Emotions are running high, supermoon. Right? Hope you can see that all right. And then we have, it's time to release negativity, full moon in Scorpio. So you are definitely on the right track. I mean, we know that because of this nine of Pentacles over here. So the prosperity we get, the emotions running high, and it's time to release negativity. Maybe becoming within, I'm really feeling with the release negativity is within yourself. Okay. Again, we're talking maybe about creating certain boundaries by people who may be sucking you dry of energy, and it's like a cull, right? But it may come. It may come at a bit of a heightened situation. So there could be an argument, there could be disagreements in the workplace, disagreements to do with your home environment, and it feels like it might reach a climax to the degree where you just, I'm just going to let it go. I'm just going to let it go, because it's like the attachment that you have to it is so strong that it's doing is causing everyone pain and suffering. Okay, so I feel we've got a supermoon and a full moon, so things are really kind of reaching a precipice, a turning point, but ultimately you're going to be moving on the other side where that prosperity lies ahead. So that's what I have for you, Pisces. I hope it helped. I hope it resonated. I hope you found some value in it. Thank you so much for subscribing. It's totally free. Give me a like if you do like this video, and if you're interested in a personal reading, check out my website, loveitmore.com. Information is in the description box below.